Good day, everyone. My name is Naresh Samuel, and it is my privilege to be speaking with everyone. Throughout history, the term abortion tends to be synonymous with the word murder. This is the way a very large percentage of the world population sees the act of abortion. They see it as murder. They see it as this great evil thing that makes women involved into an immoral or inhumane creature. However, very few women involved ever take this decision lightly. It's actually the total opposite, where many women feel that they necessarily don't have another option because they believe they will not be able to support a child in this type of economy. And most times abortion is performed by a woman who would have to raise a child by herself, usually because she got pregnant and she either doesn't know who for, or the person that she got pregnant for has left her on her own. So, some women even resort to abortion because they might have been raped. But the one that's probably the most popular is the failure of a contraceptive. And if someone comes seeking abortion because their contraceptive failed, I think they should be denied illegally. I totally disagree with this because, it was your choice. You decided that you wanted to have sex and you got pregnant. So now you have a life inside of you, and that's your responsibility to make sure that you bring it into this world. Again, that's my opinion, right? So I want to talk about abortion today with us, and I want to discuss a few of the driving forces behind it, because I personally don't believe that abortion makes women inhumane or immoral. Now, in today's world, abortion is an act that that's taken for many reasons. Some that can be understandable and others totally not. A lot of Americans assume that because a fetus is conceived in the womb of a woman, that she should have the final say whether or not to bring that child into the world. What's sad about this is that the majority of Americans are women that feel this way. And I strongly disagree because, again, if a woman had unprotected sex knowing that she could get pregnant, she should be legally held responsible for what comes next. So, again, abortion, it's not something that should be taken lightly. It's also not something that's just here in the 21st century America. It's been around for hundreds of years. When you research the term abortion, you find that it simply means terminating the life of a fetus. And by definition, you're saying, or the internet and the dictionaries and everyone who defines it as the terminating of the life of a fetus, you're basically saying that a fetus is life. And so, yes, that is murder if it is performed for the wrong reason. In ancient times, it was performed by using sharp objects, by applying tremendous pressure to the abdomen, basically killing the fetus. And in today's world, however, they have two different types of abortion. It's either a medical procedure or a surgical procedure. The medical procedure is the one where the mother-to-be, or in my opinion, the mother, would ingest a specific type of medication at a very early stage in the pregnancy, which would terminate the fetus, and she would pass it out naturally. The surgical method is the one where it's basically a C-section, where the child is either in the second or third trimester, and the doctors will physically go in, cut the mother open, take the child out, and dispose of the body. And again, this to me is very, very wrong. And in my opinion, any form of abortion, if it's being done for a selfish reason, should have some type of law in place to prevent it. And this is something that should be done worldwide, not just here in America. The abortion laws, they can either permit abortion, they can prohibit it, they can restrict it, or in my opinion, it should be regulated depending on the specific case. So it's a subject that's been plaguing humanity for a long time on all different levels, whether it's a religious or a moral aspect or even political. There aren't any international or multinational laws currently that address abortion, but they're just a few human rights laws that touch on the subject. Now, many people argue today that the act of abortion has become more humane, and I find that a little funny, but not in a good way. They think that it's humane because of the amount of technology we have today, and because it's not painful, that means it's humane. I don't see how that makes any sense. Take, for example, if I were to take a gun and shoot a cow straight through the heart, it'll die almost painlessly, almost instantly. And then if I take a machete and I cut the head off of a cow very slowly, the cow struggles, it dies painfully. And I know that's a little vivid, but think about it for a second. A bullet, instant death. A machete, slow, painful death. Either one ends with death, right? And so the result is the same. So what is exactly humane about it? I find it irritating when people think like this. I think it's a very misguided way of thinking. I would encourage anyone who thinks like this to just take me up on a challenge. Go to Syria and go to the parents of all these kids that are being blown up, and they die instantly. And it's sad, but that's the truth. They die instantly. So go to these parents and tell them, your child died instantly. It was a humane death. Let's see if that makes a difference. I guarantee you it won't. If anything, you might be the next person to die. So, in closing, I want to say this. In my opinion, abortion it's not an evil or inhumane act if and only if it's performed for the right reasons, for a selfless reason, or for like a legitimate medical reason. For example, if the mother's life is in jeopardy if she doesn't have the abortion, and there is no way of the child surviving if she were to carry through the pregnancy, that I think would be a legitimate reason for wanting to have an abortion, and one that should be allowed. Why cost the life of both when you could save the life of one? So I want to thank everyone for listening to this presentation. This presentation does have a part 2 to it, which is to come later on, so stay in touch and stay tuned. I believe life is a precious thing, and regardless of who your God may be, we all know in our hearts that life, no matter how small, should be treated with respect, and we should always honor what we feel inside of us. So thank you once again, and have a great day, everyone.